I was on a little vacation last week in Southern California, Manhattan Beach to be specific. Very nice place. And it was I doubled as a sort of a research project because this crime fiction series, this vigilante justice series that I'm writing, I've written 8 books now in it. The guy starts off in San Francisco, the main character, and then he moves to Manhattan Beach. And he can't quite stay there. Things keep happening in other places, including back up in San Francisco. And he has to go take care of business, as he sees fit. But he's basically trying to relax. So he tries to move down near the beach, just gets a simple apartment, just what he can afford. Not right on the beach, but just a simple place that he can afford, but where he's in the vicinity of the beach and the beach lifestyle. And so that's fun. I actually love it down at Manhattan Beach. But what I'm getting to is last week when I was down there, they happen to have a paddleboard race finishing on Sunday morning. And this isn't the fancy upright paddleboard where they stand with the stick that looks like a broom. Surfers call those guys the sweepers. They don't like those guys, but the modern paddleboard, they stand up and they paddle around with this big wide board. It looks like they're sweeping. But these people, this is old fashioned. They lay down on a board and they just use their arms. Just their arms. And where do they come from? Catalina Island. You know how far Catalina Island is from Manhattan Beach? 32 miles. Across the open Pacific Ocean. You look at the map and maybe it doesn't look that harmless. Or it looks harmless enough because you see Catalina there and it looks like it's just sort of off the coast, but it's 32 miles. Catalina Island to Manhattan Beach. They leave Catalina Island at 6 a.m. and the fastest ones, the world-class people, get into Manhattan Beach at the pier at around 11:30 or 12 noon. And so 5.5, 6 hours. But what are they doing? They're floating on this piece of wood, basically, and using their arms. And apparently, according to veterans who've raced that affair, it's the first 4.5 hours, you're very, very unhappy because you're out in the open ocean and you can't see land. Think about that. You're bobbing around and all you can use is your arms. Can't even use your feet, much less a motor, much less a paddle. Even a canoe paddle would help. You can't, it's just your arms in the water to propel yourself forward. You got a little wind picking up, you got a little current, but the worst thing is you can't see land. Finally, the fastest ones, after about 4.5, 5 hours, they spot off to the right a little dot, and it's the Hermosa Beach Pier. And they realize that's their first sighting of any kind of land because the pier, I guess, is bright and it extends out into the ocean, and that's what they spot. And Hermosa Beach is the next town down from Manhattan. So they know when they see that pier that eventually they're going to make it to Manhattan Beach and finish the race, unless they collapse out there. I mean, they have support boats, etc. It's not completely primitive. But the bottom line is they're paddling away. They come in, they finish. The slower people maybe take 6, 7, 8 hours to do it out in the open ocean on this little board, just paddling with their arms. So I came away, I saw that, and I'm thinking, gee, stop whining about the difficulty of writing a novel here. I mean, we got a rear end in a cushy chair. We got temperature control. We can sit here in our slippers, and all we got to do is use our fingers and make up something. So don't whine about that. Doesn't that put it in a little bit of perspective? What the human mind and body is actually capable of doing. Now, admittedly, they're doing this once a year, and we're trying to do it every day. But still, I think the point is there. The concept is there that we can do so much more than we think we're capable of. And again, I made the analogy in the other episode. If you were in front of a judge, hypothetically, and the judge said you have to go to jail or come back in 30 days with a finished novel, 50,000 words, what are you going to do? You're going to produce the novel. You probably could do it in a day if the judge said a day. Come back in 24 hours with a 50,000. You could probably do that. if it meant avoiding going to jail. So just stop all the nonsense, stop the roadblocks, etc. The other part that ties in is right now, and this is the final episode of the motivational section in this course, but right now, give yourself a time period to write your novel. Whatever the date today is. Let's say today is September 4th. Okay, maybe you got to take care of some business tomorrow. You probably don't have to take care of any business tomorrow, and that allows you to start on the 6th. Just start tomorrow. In fact, start when you stop watching this video. Start right now. But if you have to, take one day. Take care of your business. If you have something really hanging over your head, you got to do your tax returns or something that's in the way. Get that done. And then the next day, start the novel. Figure out a word count and a time frame. And you know how many words you can write in a day. I think you have a sense of it. But start with a slow count. Try 300 words a day. 300 words a day, that would take you 200 days to write a novel. More or less. 175, 200 days. That's still, what is that? It's half a year? Half a year goes by very quickly. My recommendation is give yourself more than a 300 word stipend. But if you need to start for a couple of days, 300 words, so you don't feel overwhelmed, then do that. But then up it very quickly. Try to get up to 1,000 words a day. I'm telling you, it's not hard. If you don't worry about perfectionism, you just let it fly. You don't start thinking again, who would want to read this? Does this tie into what I've already written? Oh my God, this is terrible. What a joke, etc. Once you start thinking all that stuff, you're in trouble. Don't think any of those things. Just get your 1,000 words down. But whatever count you come up with, that's up to you. I can't force that upon you. But what I can tell you right now is the way to write a novel is, even before you finish this course, make a block of time and don't wait more than 48 hours from right now. Make that block of time, and that's when you're going to start, and you're going to write every day until the novel's finished. And you're going to hit your word count every day. So start right now. You can even email me if you want your starting date. You won't though, will you? I'm giving you a hard time, but you need to be given a hard time, because probably only about 10% of the people watching this course are gonna come close to making it, and I think maybe 5% will actually write a novel. So there's your challenge. Why not be in that 5% and come through, and you'll feel it'll be one of the more satisfying things you've ever done in your life. But again, give yourself a starting point, not more than 48 hours from now, and from that point on until the novel's finished, you're writing every day. Okay, and good luck with that.